Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Got some pretty cool news. We were lucky enough to be chosen again this year for Roadkill Nights. So there's gonna be some things that change this time though. So that's what I'm gonna go over with you today. Kind of show you the car we're gonna use, talk a little bit about the program this year. So there's some similarities, there's some differences. So this year Dodge is sending us an engine and transmission again. We're getting $15,000 this year to build the car. And we will be drag racing on Woodward Avenue in Pontiac, Michigan on August 12th. So from that standpoint, very similar. We have about 4 weeks to build this car. The major change this year is we're gonna have like kind of a mentor-mentee program this year. So I've been paired up with what they're calling a rookie. I'm probably a rookie myself when it comes to drag racing, so I don't know how fair it is exactly, but it is what it is, and we're gonna come out swinging either way. So my plan is to build this car with the help of Kayla. Yeah, so if you want to introduce yourself, Kayla is my rookie.
Hey guys, my name is Kayla Rundle. All of my social media is also Kayla Rundle if you want to find me. But I do not have a shop like Tony. However, I do build my own cars in my own garage with jacks on the floor, and I am well known.
The hard way.
Yeah, the very difficult hard way, but it makes it too great, right? Yeah, so I'm well known for my Camaro that I did basically a ground up build on. It has nothing stuck on it anymore, and it is for the road course. So of course I'm the rookie for drag racing stuff.
So she's got a little bit of experience with cars.
Very little. I'm an expert on Camaro. Everything else, he's the expert.
You got very little experience drag racing.
Yes.
You've done a little bit of drag racing, but nothing like this. Nothing that should fucking go like this car will. And I'll kind of show you what we're gonna build this year, and what she'll be driving. So what we got this year is a 1970 Dodge Dart. It was a race car. I don't know how long it's been a race car, most of its life. At least for the last 2 or 3 owners. I was able to purchase this out of Ohio, similar to how you see it. I'll show you some pictures of how we got it exactly. It used to be silver, had some chips and issues with the body, so I had the car all body worked and repainted a gloss white. Engine bay was all done in satin black. And from there, we're gonna start putting this thing together and get it prepped for an engine and trans. So to go over the car a little bit, it is pretty much all steel. So it's not gonna be super light, but it is kind of gutted a bit at the same time. All the fender structures have been removed to make it light. It does have a fiberglass hood, and it does have all the guts in the doors still. It has all roll-up windows. The front suspension's been changed out to a coilover system. It's got a manual rack. Currently, the car has no plumbing, no wiring, no brake lines, no fuel lines, that sort of thing. The guy's plan basically was to take this car and he was gonna completely redo it. So he kind of stripped it apart and now we're putting it back together. So in the rear, it's pretty well set up. It's got a 4-link with a wishbone. Just single adjustable strain shocks in the back, so nothing fancy there. Spooled rear end. But you come around to the back, and kind of like last year, it's all business back here. So that's our car. We got a lot of work to do. Have to come up with some ideas. It sounds like we got a lot of really good sponsors on board this year, which is gonna be amazing. We have Holly back, Mickey Thompson back, a couple new ones we'll show you as well as we go. We got a lot of work to do. As far as what we're gonna do today, get the bumpers on, the radiator in, the grill in, and start working on the roll bar and the floor pan. All that has to be made, installed. Might get to work on the wiring a little bit. I'll kind of show you over like the column installation and a few other things we did ahead of time. So here we go. So first thing we're gonna do is we got this I did a column, and these things are just awesome. They come basically with everything you need. It's a direct fit for our application, 70 Dodge Dart, and they make them for everything. We use these in almost every car we do, you know, Mustangs, Camaros, Chevelles. They basically have everything, and it's all finished in black powder coat. So then you get like the floor mount and everything else you need. There's the relay pack and all the turn signal switches. So first thing we gotta do is get the old one out. With the old one out, you can really see the difference between the two. This is the best part though. It's always like a GM wiring harness, so it plugs into all the aftermarket harnesses we use. But just a huge upgrade from this old. There it is, all installed. Obviously would fit a factory dash a lot better than this aluminum dash in here. We use these all the time and they just bolt right in. But it came with a nice new floor mount, bolted right to the firewall. It's done. It's got all the wiring that works with our harness. Keys up on this column, so it'll be easy to get to when you're strapped in. And we won't have to take the steering wheel off of this one to get in and out thanks to the tilt. So, awesome fit as usual.
The motor is here. Yay! Guys, we got our crate motor in to the shop.
It's official.
It's official. How many days do we have?
I don't know, you're asking me to math on the spot.
3 weeks?
Car's gonna leave August 6th and it is July 12th.
It's July 12th and it's leaving on the 6th.
3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks. 3.5 weeks from now, we have to get this in the car.
And we need like two weeks or at least a week of testing.
And we need a week of driving and testing the car, make sure it's not going to break on us, and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So we have like 2 weeks to get it in running. That gives us like 3 days to tune and dyno, and then a week of testing, and then bye-bye.
So we only have like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
2
like
weeks?
2 weeks, really.
2 weeks to get this in and running.
Would be safe.
All right. Okay. I'm excited.
Take it off and set it over here. Yeah, and then ready?
Are you going from the bottom?
Yeah, it's easier like in the front. There's like a lift it up to where you can get your fingers in there.
I'm going with your force. Yay.
It is interesting that they run.
Can I take this off? Wow. 807 or 707?
807.
Why? Because of the...
Red Eye.
Oh, so it's crazier than... Oh, shit.
So the Red Eye has a bigger supercharger and makes more boost. They're 797 in the cars, and then they're 807 in crate form.
Wow.
Because it doesn't have, I guess, a couple of...
807's a lot.
It's a ton.
It's a lot.
All right, so we're back at the shop, and we got our engine. And today is July 15th, so I feel like we're about the 2.5 week mark to get this car done. So we have time to test, you know, make sure it's safe. You know, if Kayla's driving it, it's got to be safe. And with the new engine that we're getting, so initially I wasn't sure what we were getting. There was talks about all different sorts of setups, which led me to purchase this car. Needless to say, I didn't expect to get what we got. It's gonna make a ton more power than I ever thought. It's gonna be way faster than I ever thought. We got a Hellcat Red Eye again this year. They're 807 horsepower right out of the box, you know, and we'll turn it up from there. Turn it up probably around 1200 horsepower. So for Kayla to really kind of get in this car for the first time, it makes me nervous. You know, it's not the same. I mean, it legitimately is gonna be like a 9-second car. You know, this car, here, let me turn this around for you. So this car, while it's set up in the suspension area, as far as the cage is currently concerned, it's just a 4-point cage. You know, you take this to the drag strip, they probably let us go 11s in its current configuration legally. You know, and to say, oh, we're gonna make it go 9s, it's great, street racing, a lot of experience, but, you know, God forbid something happens, she puts us somewhere, she's gotta be safe in this car. There's no door bars, there's no halo bar, there's not a lot of protection inside of this car. And then at the same time, with only 2 weeks to go, there's a lot of tuning and testing involved to get the car to go straight, make sure it does everything it's supposed to do, and not to mention the amount of work it is just to do it in general. You know, still don't have brake lines, still don't have wiring, you know, the fuel system's not done. So needless to say, where all this is going has kind of led me to do something I had never done before. So first time for me, I bought a car back after I'd sold it. So this year we'll be running the 69 Barracuda again, making a ton of changes, and there's still a ton of work to do. But this car is safe, it goes straight, and it should be fairly easy for her to drive at the speed this thing's gonna be able to do. So the big thing with this car is I bought it back, but I don't know if you can see or not, there's no engine in there. So we got no engine and we got no fuel system in this car. All that got taken out for another project, I guess, but this is basically how we got it back. So we'll do a whole new wrap on it this year. Gonna be making some massive changes, like I said. It's getting a full Aeromotive fuel system. Gonna get tons of Holly goodies in it, Holly dash, new seats. I'll start going through all the parts with you, kind of showing you what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna get to it.
Back hole first. That's right. It has a gap so it doesn't bite my fingers.
Yeah, it's fiberglass hood, so the gap's not perfect by any means.
It looks pretty good.
It's a cool looking car.
It is.
I really like it, actually.
It's really pretty. I'd be scared if this was coming at me. Everyone's gonna be looking at its taillights.
That's the plan. We'll have to send them all pictures of the front end because they're never going to see it.
Yeah.